Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, you may recall that I put a blue lights in this light right here. And I was never all that happy with it, at least not 100% happy with it, because the blue lights were actually a little bit too bright at night. So I figured, let me put a dimmer in that. So I looked for another fixture because I wanted to modify a new one rather than take the old one out, and nobody seems to have them anymore. And this is another light fixture that I have in the bathroom. Maybe I should put the blue lights in that. They are readily available, and it's a motion sensing light on one side and it stays on all the time on the other side. So I think I'll modify this so that when the light is turned on, that is when it's not in the motion sensor mode, that it will provide the blue lighting. And then I'm going to put a dimmer in it so I can reduce the intensity. Now there is some controversy, I suppose, between which is better, blue lights or red lights. Your eyes are more sensitive to blue lights, and they can act as a stimulant at night. However, I find that the blue lights are less harsh and more pleasing at night to me. But you can use any color you want. And as the case with all my projects, if you go to my website, rv-project.com, and I'll put the link here, you can go to the project webpage, and I show extensive information here, basically how everything's connected, the wiring scheme, schematic of the dimmer circuit, parts list for all the components, and a step-by-step assembly instruction for the circuit board. And the circuit boards are available in the bill of materials. So this really has everything you need to build this project. This is a Phacon LED sensor puck light cabinet light with sensor night light. And this is a motion detection sensor. Turns the light on when it detects movement. And there's a 2-position switch. One position ignores the sensor. The other position turns this into a motion light. And these are about 10 bucks, so they're not that expensive. And I'm scratching my head on one thing. On the motion detector, it's wired so that it's on all the time, regardless of the position of the switch. This is basically a residual, or what some people call a parasitic load, that is on all the time, whether the light's on or not. And yes, it's low power. It's maybe 200 microwatts, but you know, you add enough of those things together and they eventually add up. So I'm going to take care of that problem when I modify the light. And here's even a greater mystery. This was in the package, and at first I thought, well, they just added a fuse. So I'm opening the thing up just to see what size fuse it is. And so what the heck is this? It's a diode. I can only think of 2 reasons to do this. First, it would prevent damaging the light fixture if it were connected backwards. But since the fuse holder was laying in the package by itself, not connected, how would you know which end to connect to what anyway, unless you opened the package and checked the diode orientation? And the only other possible reason would be to drop the voltage about 0.6 of a volt, because that's what silicon diodes do. Well, I'm just not going to use it. And when we open it up, this is a 4-watt LED board. And of course we have a reflector. And in a similar fashion to the original project, I'm going to add some blue LEDs around here. However, the way I'm going to do that is with these little small circuit boards. And I ordered 4 of them, and we will just put them sort of like this. And I have some real small hardware that I can just screw in here. And these are surface mount, and we're going to put an LED in each one of these. And there's also provision on these boards for either a current limiting resistor or a simple driver. And this is the driver that I'll be using. It's an NSI 45020. The 20 means 20 milliamps. And you can get this in a 10, 15, 20, 25, and I think other ranges as well. And that's basically the constant current that is output. So this is really designed for low power LEDs. And it's in a surface mount diode style case, so you just install it like a diode in line with the LEDs, and it will current limit the LEDs to whatever the rating is that you purchased. And one of the attributes that I like about these is it has built-in surge suppression. And you may know in some of my other projects I extensively use TVS diodes to provide that function, the voltage surge suppression, because I'm convinced that that's one of the big things that burn these diodes out. And these are, half a buck a piece, so they're really cheap. And we only have to put that on one of these boards, so we can just short across where the resistor is on the other ones. On the back side of the fixture, we'll take the back off, and we have the motion detector board here, and the switch here, and then this is all open space. So I've built a small circuit board here, and this will be a pulse width modulated dimmer. I'm just going to put some super glue or probably some VHB tape and put it in the roof of this cavity like that. Then we'll drill a hole through the bottom, and we'll have a little trimmer in here so we can put a little screwdriver in there and dim the lights. At this point we have the 4 circuit boards installed for the LEDs, and if you go to my website I have all the details on how to construct the circuit boards and the parts lists. So this video is kind of like a highlights, and all the details will be on the website. And even though these LEDs won't really give off a lot of heat, since we have this aluminum on here, I'm just going to put a small dab of heat thermal transfer compound here, just like that, and we're going to put that on the bottom of each one. And we've wired these circuit boards together. We have a piece of heat shrink on this wire here, so they don't short out. Positive coming in here, negative coming in here. And continuing on with the project, installed the PWM dimmer here. And I had to rewire the motion detector. And again, that'll be on my website. And in fact, these are kind of fragile, these switches. I damaged the switch, so I just happen to have some more, except they're just a different color, which actually isn't bad because this kind of differentiates between, this kind of a device plus a standard one. And I drilled a hole in the bottom so we can put our adjuster in here. And to turn the blue lights on, I just turn it one direction, and you can see we can dim them. Now they're not 100%, but they're going to be enough. And then in the other position we have the light, and this light is on the sensor when it's in the white light. It is not on the sensor when it is in the blue light. And the reason for that is at nighttime, if you don't want this going off, you can turn it to the blue and it'll just show up as blue at night. And I also added a small pilot light, a little red LED, to the bottom here. When you put this on the blue light and you have it fully dimmed in the daylight, you can hardly see the lights. So this will tell you that the blue light is on, and this does not dim. And hopefully that will prevent me from inadvertently leaving the blue lights on when I put the RV in the storage and have the lights run the battery down. Now we're replacing my blue light that I installed with the original puck light. There we go. Unfortunately, I need to enlarge the hole just a little bit because I can't get to the wires. It's nice to have right tools for the job. And when we do three-way connections, I always like to use a little tape or cable ties or something that kind of help take the strain off. There we go. So we should have blue light there with a red LED showing, and then motion light.